It's hard to believe, right? So many years of endless speculation, rumors, and waiting, Tesla is finally here in India. And this is their first offering, the Model Y, and we've got a couple of hours to spend with it. We'll be answering all the questions that you have about the Model Y in the course of this video. This also includes the way the Tesla Model Y is to drive in Indian road conditions. So before we go ahead, you know the drill. It's like, share, and subscribe to the Car and Bike YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon as well so that you can be notified every time we bring out a new and informative video such as this one. Now let's start with the exterior and let me get this out straight. This is the facelifted Model Y that lands here in India. The nameplate Model Y was first released in 2020 and is the smallest crossover in the Tesla lineup. But in terms of dimension, it is a few millimeters bigger than the BMW X3 and even the Mercedes-Benz GLC. Compared to the older, more froggish design, this facelift takes cues from the bigger sibling, the Cybertruck, for its sleek LED light bar up ahead. You'd also notice that there's no Tesla logo up front. A pretty unconventional way, right? Because people out on the road, they recognize your car with your logo. What Tesla did was make the design so unique they are instantly recognizable. The clean sheet metal work has always been the design philosophy of Tesla, and that has been retained with this one. There's a bit of a haunch or a character line over the rear wheel arch and a little bit of a ducktail spoiler finish to the boot. Moreover, you get a sleeker LED bar for tail lamps at the back that is new, and it's more of an ambient lighting actually, which is the first of its kind for a tail lamp, where there's an indirect reflective light used instead of a proper LED bar. The Model Y in India also rides on 19-inch wheels, which are a size smaller than what you get internationally, and they are wrapped in Hankook tires. More importantly, there are 6 color options where the black is free of cost, but you pay almost 90,000 rupees extra for the pearl white and diamond black, and 1.2 lakh extra for the blue paint job. And for this Quicksilver and Ultra Red, the flagship color, you would have to shell out around 1.8 lakh rupees over the sticker price. So is this price premium justified? What is your opinion? Let us know in the comments. As for the cabin, we have experienced this in the Cybertruck as well, and the cabin here for the Model Y, it doesn't deter a lot from it. Being a modern car with no traditional design cues to rely on, the entire cabin of the Model Y is minimalistic and centered around the 15.8-inch touchscreen. Every single control has been integrated into this screen. But more importantly, the minimalist cabin has its upside and downsides. Upside is there's no clutter and there are loads of storage spaces all around. You get a massive compartment in the center console, a large armrest that fits a lot of knickknacks, and a couple of cup holders too. But on the downside, no physical buttons means you have to go to the touchscreen for simplest of functions, like even opening a glove box. Not exactly necessary. You don't even get a driver's display, which takes some time to get used to. Even to get the car rolling, you have to use a touchscreen to put the vehicle in drive, and the wide touchscreen, it can get a bit distracting while on the move. But on the upside, the visibility is fantastic. Then we come to the materials used all around, which feels like they are built to last. Not exactly premium feeling, but modern and out of the ordinary. It also has a good level of fit and finish, so no complaints there. As for the seats, they also have this rugged appeal to them, but how they survive the Indian testing conditions remains to be seen. Also remains to be seen is the all-glass panoramic sunroof. Now, we drove the car and it was heavily raining, but what we need to see is how well the cabin holds the Indian summer. With soft cushioning, the seats are also comfortable and offer support in the right places. For the second row, there's good amount of legroom and flat floor liberates more space, and the seat angle is also quite good. Similar to the Cybertruck, you sit quite low and in the seats here in the second row, where you get good recline angle and the seats are soft and accommodating. The second row also get an 8-inch touchscreen, which can double up as a control as well as an entertainment. The kids at the back, they can pair their Bluetooth device to this rear screen and have the separate infotainment or entertainment going on, which is independent of the screen at the front. But the upside is you can actually control the rear screen through the touchscreen up front. More importantly, can you fit 3 people in the second row? Well, it is a tight fit, but the seats can be electronically folded down to extend the almost 900 liters of cargo space to up to 2100 liters. So finally, we are driving the Tesla Y on the Indian roads. And to sum it up in one word, I'll give you that first, that the Tesla Model Y, it doesn't feel like an extraordinary EV which is out of space. It feels like any other EV to drive right from the word go. So it has its own set of unconventionalities, and I'll tell you more about it in a bit. But if you are switching from any other EV into this, you won't feel out of place. If you have driven the BMW iX1 long wheelbase or the standard one, you have driven the EV6 or the Ioniq 5, and you are switching to a Tesla Model Y, it feels like any other EV. That said, we'll talk about the unconventionalities. This being a very futuristic and a modern EV, you don't get the conventionality of a driver's display. You have all the functions and vehicle controls integrated into the touchscreen, and that is the future. Most of the cars, they are adapting to a touchscreen based system where all the controls are fitted here inside. But the fact that you have a minimalistic steering wheel with no driver's display behind it, you have just one stalk for the indicator, and even the fast flash is integrated into the minimalistic steering. There's no right stalk in it. So yeah, it has its very unconventional features over here. More importantly, control the outside ORVM and even the reach and rake of your steering through a control on your touchscreen as well as your button, that is a scroller in fact, on the steering wheel. These are the unconventionalities that you need to get used to once you get yourself a Tesla. But otherwise, Tesla doesn't give you a power output figure. They don't give you your battery capacity. The one you are driving here is the long range version. Both the versions that you get here in India are rear wheel driven. Now, the standard variant, it has close to 500 kilometers of claimed WLTP range. The one we are driving here is the long range version. It has 622 kilometers of claimed range. The battery capacity that you get here in the long range version, it's 82 kilowatt hour. Now it's very similar to the EV6, and the EV6, the updated one, you do realistically get 500 kilometers in the Indian driving conditions. So you could actually expect close to 500 kilometers when you get the rear-wheel drive long-range version of the Model Y here in India under realistic conditions. Now, talking about the power output, this one, it feels like you're driving a car which has close to 250 to 300 horsepower. Now, power and torque figures aren't revealed, but Tesla tells you that this one, the long range version, it can do 0 to 100 km per hour in just 5.6 seconds. But given the capacity, the battery size, and the way this car accelerates, I can tell you that this one, it could produce 300 horsepower. And that is evident in the way this car accelerates. You do get that familiar quick EV acceleration, and once you flow the throttle, no matter what speed you're doing, you do get that punch in your seat acceleration, and more importantly, you have that quick response from your steering. Your suspension, it's set up on a very stiffer side, so the direct steering combined with a very stiff ride, it does give you that fun to drive combination. It is a crossover, sure, but with the power output, the way the setup is, be it the suspension and the steering. Now the steering, it goes little over 2 turns lock to lock, which means it is direct. It is a very direct steering. You intend to go in a direction and you just point at it and it turns the direction. The body roll, thanks to the stiffer suspension, is very well controlled, and you can actually exploit that 300 horsepower to its maximum potential in the Model Y. Now, Tesla's autonomous hardware is world famous. You do get them in India as well, but they are not enabled. The full self-driving mode, you can opt it for now, but there are some government regulation that needs to go through. And for now, what you get in the car, when you get it, it is a level 2 ADAS. You have the lane keep assist, the autonomous braking. You also get the projection of all the other cars on your infotainment screen. If you're driving around and you have this mode activated on your screen, you do get people walking on the road, the cars around you, and you also get the Sentry mode, which is very famous internationally, where the cameras in your car, they keep on recording everything, even when it's parked. More importantly, The visibility that I get here sitting on the steering wheel, it's fabulous. The windscreen is large, the pillars are just the right size, and despite that coupe-like design at the back, the visibility from the IRVM, it's not half too bad. Yeah, the C pillar is a bit thick for my liking, but when you're driving a car this well sorted in dynamics, that shouldn't be an issue. Even the ORVM, they are large enough, they don't induce a lot of wind noise inside the cabin. Talking about the cabin insulation, it is well sorted. Even doing triple digit speed on the highway, you barely hear anything from the exterior. The wind noise is very well controlled. Sure, the rain spatter on the all glass roof, it does get annoying at one point of time, but otherwise, this car, it is like driving a very futuristic EV, which is exactly what it is. Talking about the ADAS suite, you can also turn on the 360-degree camera while on the move. It can be turned on at any speed, but more importantly, safety has become a new buy norm for buyers in India. They do look at the Bharat NCAP and the global NCAP figures when buying the new car. And the Teslas, they have all done good in that terms, because all the Teslas of late, they come with full 5-star rating, no matter which NCAP test you have put them through. So that's sorted for the buyer's safety perspective. Now, the car that we are driving, it's a pretty brand new piece. We got it at 50% and we have driven close to 15 kilometers so far. Right now, the indicated percentage is 43 and the indicated driving range is close to 230 kilometers. Now, as I mentioned, it could do 500 kilometers in the realistic condition. In the calculation right now, if we do the current calculation with 43% and 230 kilometer indicated, that gives you an indicated calculated range of 530 kilometers in the real world condition. So that's not a pretty bad figure for the battery size, for the price that you pay for this car, and overall owning an EV with that much kilometers of calculated or indicated range, that's not half too bad. So that's about the range. But what about charging? Well, Teslas are famous for their superchargers, and this one, it supports 250 kilowatt of fast charging. But more importantly, if you get a supercharger, which will be coming up pretty soon once the delivery starts, you can juice up to 250 kilometers in just 15 minutes. But apart from that, you do get support for the conventional DC fast charging that is very common here in India right now for the public chargers. You get a complimentary home charger for the first set of customers, but once you get the home charger, that's a capacity of 11 kilowatt, and charging an 80 kilowatt hour of a battery pack capacity that we have here in the long range should take you overnight for a full charge, and that should give you an overnight full charge of 500 kilometers. Well, that's a win-win situation for an EV owner. When once they're switching into an EV ecosystem, these figures are quite promising and they will inspire a lot of buyers to actually make that switch. Now, did you know that the Tesla Model Y, was the world's best-selling car in 2023? It surpassed the legendary Toyota Corolla, marking the first time an electric vehicle has achieved this title. And it maintained the streak in 2024 as well. And so Tesla was first to get an update on the Y before any other model. Meanwhile, in India, the Model Y is a big novelty. It's not priced exorbitantly either, but it does attract a heavy import duty, doubling its price in India. If it was to be built in India, the Y would retail at a price of a Harrier EV, and that would also make it a huge seller in India. But until then, this one is still a solid alternative to the likes of the Kia EV6, the BMW iX1, Mercedes-Benz EQA, Volvo Recharge, the BYD Sealand 7, and the Hyundai Ioniq 5. A tough competition to be in, and I didn't expect this segment to have so many cars so quickly. But the Tesla Model Y, it has its work cut out for it. It has already gotten the attention. Now, it remains to see how it delivers actually on the Indian roads. So that's the Model Y for you. It's finally here in India. Tesla is finally here in India. You can actually buy one and drive it soon. But there's a lot to explore and talk about from the Tesla offering. So that's something for another day. But that's all from me in this video. This is Bilal signing off. Until next time.